So maybe some of you can relate to this. I've been reading comics for a while now, literally over a decade, but I've mostly been focusing on stuff like Marvel and DC, Spider-Man swinging around the city, Batman out in the streets beating up thugs. But one thing I really haven't explored in so much recently is the world of indie comics, and more specifically Image. Now listen, I know it may not seem like it, but there is a world out there besides just superhero stuff. I mean, really, when you look at superhero stuff, all of it is a blend of different genres too. Sometimes you get some more like goopy horror type stuff with like Swamp Thing and Man Thing and whatever other thing you want. You get some cool crime noir stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, Frank Miller's Man Without Fear is pretty much just the rise of Daredevil, the rise of the superhero, but also it's a crime noir sort of drama type thing too, honestly. Now, I've always really focused more on the grounded stuff. Like, I love like stuff like Hawkeye that's like more personal and a little more grounded than stuff like, I don't know, Secret Wars. That's not grounded at all, man. And if you like this crime grounded stuff as much as I do, then you're gonna love this series. I just started reading it and I was like, guys, I gotta make a video. I might make a video on every single trade paperback of this. There's 10 of them, so hold tight. You're gonna see a lot of this. But anyways, we're gonna be talking about, of course, Criminal by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Now this came back all the way out in 2005. They've been doing this for 2 decades now. This is the 20th anniversary of Criminal, which is insane. And what a time to read it right now, guys. I gotta tell you, they're just releasing these new trade paperback volumes, which are amazing, look great. They got these cool covers. Sean Phillips came back years later and was like, hey, let me make some cool covers for this, and he did, and they're great. And of course, we also have an Amazon Prime series coming up soon too, supposedly this year, I guess. I've not seen a trailer yet. By the time I release this video, maybe there'll be a trailer out. I don't know, who knows. But it's a really exciting time to get into this criminal jazz. Now, the one to start it all is called Coward. Coward spins the tale of this master thief named Leo Patterson. Now, oftentimes he's considered, well, a coward, as the book is called, because he's always doing jobs that he knows that he can escape from. He's not going to do a job that seems very risky or anything. He's not going to take any unnecessary risks. He's not even going to carry a gun if he doesn't have to, because he is a coward. But that helps him because he's a guy that has never been caught before, because he always has an escape plan. He always knows when to get out. Even if the job is going badly, he'll find a way to get out of there and he'll be good to go. So he gets convinced by this guy named Seymour. He's this sort of dirty cop type guy, and he's working with this other dirty cop guy too. There's just a lot of dirty cops. They don't take showers in the city. What can I say? Anyways, he gets convinced by these guys to pull off some sort of like complicated heist. Basically, the idea is that there is this police van that's carrying a bunch of diamonds that are going to be used in a court case as evidence, and their job is to bust open that, steal the diamonds, and get the heck out of there before they even realize it. The first part of the story is devoted to the sort of meticulous nature of Leo as he tries to figure out all of the different layers that need to happen and all need to sort of mesh together for the key to turn for them to get those diamonds and get the heck out of there. As a person that loves this sort of meticulous energy, sort of this building up and figuring out how things work and everything like that, like if you look back at Iron Man 1, sort of that initial process of him trying to figure out how the arc reactor works and how the suit all comes together and everything like that is a lot of fun. It's sort of like that. It's Leo like working through all this and trying to figure out like each little individual piece of the plan, talking to different people that he knows, all these different criminals and everything like that, and eventually he forms this really cool plan where he like gets multiple distractions going on at the same time, so there's not a lot of cops. He finds a route for the van to travel down that's a lot easier to get into. It's much more enclosed and easier to block up over the original route that they go down. So of course he gets this guy to have a stalled car there and everything to distract those guys in the van and everything like that. And then he gets, another guy to make a call on a deli, this bomb threat and everything like that, to get all of the police over there, because they take it very seriously now and everything too. It's sort of this interesting conversation about like what does like post 9/11 crime look like, and sort of like how the police are now taking these threats, like bomb threats and everything, much more seriously than perhaps they would have in the past, which I think is a really interesting point about how criminals can sort of use like the larger sort of security networks to their advantage and everything, and sort of twist things around and whatnot. I think that's really cool. That stood out to me. The job seems like it's surefire, man. I mean, Leo doesn't do a job unless he thinks that it's absolutely safe. No guns on there, so nobody, sets off anything or whatnot, or shoots and then it starts to, dissolve into chaos. So he's pretty confident. He's like, yeah, man, this is gonna be great. And then it's actually not great. There's this little twist that sort of like throws a massive wrench in the plan. Things go down, bodies fall down, shots go off. Leo manages to escape with one other person, Greta, this person that was a love interest to this one guy that he did a job with that eventually, unfortunately, gets killed. So he sort of feels this weird sort of guilt towards her because he knows that he got this guy that she was in love with in sort of this bad place and everything, and eventually got him killed. But they sort of, start forming a connection and everything, of course, and they start getting closer and whatnot. And now they have to figure out how to get themselves out of this big mess. It turns out that the case that they were stealing was not diamonds at all. It was a bunch of drugs, man, and that's no good. So they got to figure out what to do with all this stuff, and they have to figure out how to survive. They're off in this, secluded area and everything like that. So it makes for a really amazing story. It's very, very noir. It takes a lot of noir tropes and everything like that, and then sort of plays around with them. Doesn't necessarily deconstruct them fully and make something new, but it's just such a flavorful read. It's got such amazing artwork too. You can definitely tell that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips have been working together for a little bit now. They sort of, even early on, have this sort of connection and this chemistry that works together. That they can sort of have this unspoken language between the two of them to really bring this world to life with such atmospheric depth and everything with the artwork. It's just so beautiful. The art and the writing go together hand in hand so perfectly. I mean, come on. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, to me, probably one of the most iconic comic duos out there. They're just so good. They're really good at what they do. I don't want to spoil too much more of the books. I want you all to dive in with fresh eyes and everything, and fresh minds, because this really is worth reading. And honestly, as soon as I finish, I was like, man, I gotta read the next volume, so I'm definitely gonna be reading that very soon. I'm very excited for the next one, which is called Lawless, which introduces another character. This whole series is an anthology series, so each issue, each volume you can pick up and sort of get a new story, a new perspective on this world, and sort of the interconnected weavings of it. It either goes back in the past to explore, oh, this one character, oh, who is this character's father and everything like that, what were they doing, or who is this random person that was, maybe involved with this or whatever. It's really cool, crime anthology series. You can probably read just about any part of it and just have a really great time with it, and exploring this character and how they see the world and how that paints your perspective on this world that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips have both weaved together. I think that's really cool. And the characters here in Coward, I think, are great too. Sometimes writers have this sort of this thing about writing this chosen one character, this character that can do everything so well. That's this character is not flawed. That the perfect pilot, the perfect shooter, the perfect force wielder, lightsaber guy, all of that wrapped up in one thing. They have sort of drama and problems and things too, but it's in the end of the day, they're the freaking chosen one, man. So they're destined for great things. But here, the main character, Leo, is not good at everything. He's really smart. He's highly intelligent. He's great at putting together these little crime jobs and everything and getting away scot-free. But he also sucks at a lot of other stuff too. He's not just the perfect guy. He freaking can't shoot a dang gun to save his life, honestly, which I think is really great. I love that. Usually you would have the main guy oh, he's he's the best gunslinger in the West. No, he freaking sucks, man. And he's not very good at a lot of other things too. You sort of start to notice a few things here and there. It's oh well, Leo, that was a mistake, buddy. You probably shouldn't have done that. So I think that's great. I love flawed characters. All these characters are very flawed, and they're really interesting too because of that. You really latch onto them because they're very, you want them to succeed and everything, even though they're these. In reality, these are the guys that Daredevil will be freaking beating the crap out of and everything, but you just can't help but want to see them succeed because they're so charismatic and their story is just so very engrossing. So, Criminal, man, you gotta check it out. We're gonna be talking about this more, so don't worry. If this doesn't convince you, I will convince you. If that doesn't convince you, and if I fail at my job, then you're gonna have to nuke the entire world, I guess. But anyways, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, Criminal, Coward, great stuff.